I want to be very clear. I'm not an anti-natalist that really cares too much about preserving the ecosystem, preserving Earth, because I feel like as long as this place can hoard life and make life possible, it deserves to be destroyed. So I'm against life in every aspect of the word. I don't even want there to exist a host that can host life, and Earth is a host. Earth is a host. It's hosting us humans, and us humans are parasites to the Earth. I told y'all everything on this planet is based on predator versus prey. Everything, everything. Everything here is consuming something. Everything here is disgusting and multiplies like a virus. And this host, which is planet Earth, needs to be destroyed as well. So I just want to make that very clear that I'm not here to save the ecosystem. I'm not here to save the planet Earth. I believe it all needs to be destroyed. So I'll use AI. I don't much litter, but I don't care to clean up litter. Um, there are many places where people are living in absolute filth and squalor. And by all means, I cheer them on. Just go ahead. You pigs love this pigsty so much. Just bask in it. Bask in it. There is no filth disgusting enough to keep breeders from breeding, okay? They've been here on this planet. They have accepted all kinds of filth, either physical filth, spiritual filth. They have accepted all kinds of lies. They have accepted all kinds of BS stories that don't make sense. And they thought this place was just swell enough to continue multiplying here like a virus. And the majority of these people don't give a fuck about the planet. A lot of them are ignorant to the planet and what causes harm to the planet and why they continue to see an increase in weather every year, why they continue to see earthquakes in places that haven't had earthquakes in years. They are delusional as to why they're having floods everywhere. They can't understand why there's fires everywhere. They are absolutely stupid or ignorant. Because we have the stupid people who are supposed to be educated who deny climate change is real. They say, no, it's not real. It's not real. Because, like I tell you guys all the time, the only thing these people are concerned about is consuming and breeding. They could care less. They think, right? A God who put them in the situation in the first place is going to eventually save them. That's what they think. That's what they believe. They believe if they just hold out a little bit longer, if they just hold out a little bit longer, God's going to save them. So they don't worry or concern themselves about what's going on in the planet, on this planet. Meanwhile, they're just popping them out, popping more and more people out. And they don't realize that they are contributing to the rubbish that continues to go on this planet. But let them tell it, they're going to be saved eventually. Something is going to come out of the sky, trumpets will ring, and they'll be saved. Or, we have the other religions that believe they're going to be living amongst 21 virgins and they get to pick out all these different virgins to have their way with it because they're just perverted, nasty males who've made up this heaven that they have to they knew they had to be real disgusting to convince the male gender of a heaven. And now they tell these males, you dominate the woman in your religion because they're gonna be non-existent. They're gonna just go back to heaven and become virgins again for your pleasure. And people believe these foolish stories, even in 2026, a time of technology. We're not living in the dark ages. We're not living like Neanderthals. We're advanced, I would believe. We evolved, I would believe. Because even the human brain has to evolve at some point. Which y'all know I call it evolution. Evolution. Because none of it needs to exist. There's literally no reason for any of this shit but to satisfy and please the human ego. The human ego wants it to continue. The human ego can be entertained by it all. Like if you could skate through life and not be harmed too much, it's like, okay, this is a cool place. But I've seen even some of them that have been terribly harmed by existence. I mean, brutally harmed by existence. It doesn't stop them. It doesn't stop them. This is a persistent virus. Very, very persistent. Not much is going to stop it other than the ability not to do it. But the people who deny climate change are just filthy, disgusting animals, pigs. Like they are literally just disgusting. Have you ever seen the show Hoarders, where the people, usually who are much older, they just keep a bunch of garbage around? It doesn't really serve them any purpose, really. Most of the time, they can't even get to the garbage for it to even be any service to them, but they just need it around. And that's what people who deny climate change really, to me, that's what they appear to be. Human hoarders. Human hoarders. It's never enough people. And for some reason, we always need more. All of these humans consume garbage that piles up and piles up and piles up on top of each other. So even if you didn't believe climate change was real, you could say, you know what, I don't believe climate change is real, but I say that we should still stop reproducing. They will never say that. I'm in a lot of overpopulation discussion groups because I think the amount of people is just disgusting. Disgusting. If there was not so many people on this fucking planet, each of us could have had, or each of y'all, because I wouldn't never care to be a part of this human experience at all. It doesn't matter how you paint it out to look. I don't want to be a part of it at all. But had we not have so many fucking humans, a lot of y'all could have had your own property, maybe a 1 or 2 bedroom on your own land where you can create your own farm and be responsible for yourself. And wouldn't have to need to be involved in the rat race where you have to go constantly to work all day long. But literally the fact that there's so many fucking people is why we have to live like rats in a race. Why we have to live on top of each other in freaking 30-story high buildings, which usually those buildings usually have great soundproof. So I would say like 10-story buildings of apartments all stacked on top of each other. You can literally hear when the neighbor upstairs from you flushes their toilet. You can hear when they're stomping in their fucking living room. Because mind you, we have to conserve materials to build because we can't overuse it. So we have to be frugal and cheap because it's just so many people. You have people that just, they're human hoarders. It's never enough for them. And they encourage other people to just keep it going, keep doing it, bring more. It's never enough for them. Even with 7 million unemployed people in the United States right now, they will still lie to you and tell you that the reason why we need to create more is to uphold the economy. We need people to work jobs. Y'all have 7 million people now that are unemployed that need to work jobs too. So where are their jobs at? Where their jobs at? Or do y'all think in y'all delusional minds, because I tell y'all these people are delusional, that somehow the next generation is just going to be the generation that's going to fix everything up? Why you can't do it? Why you can't do it? If it was that motherfucking easy, why you haven't done it? These people are sick, and I'm realizing that a lot of the times it's men. It's men. It's men. And it's because their body don't have to go through it. So they want to encourage it on every aspect, but it's like, when is enough of humans enough for you? It's the men that have created these religions that somehow these religions need constant supply of people. Otherwise, it just kills their God for some reason. I don't know, right? I don't know the logic behind it. I'm just going off of what I've seen and what I've witnessed. It's the men that created these religions that say women have to be barefoot and pregnant all day in the kitchen. Mormon, all these religions. The Jewish community, they pop them out constantly. Africans, Asia, well, I would say China, because Thailand, Taiwan, their birth rates are going down. Malaysia, their birth rates are going down. But China's still pretty much up there. Even in the Philippines, I don't know what their birth rate is, but, the young girls get pregnant at young, tender ages of 13, 14. And we know who's doing it. These girls don't want that life. They don't see any option out. A lot of these women are being abused. A lot of these women don't have any proper education. They come out the womb and told that they're going to be mothers, and that's it. That is as far as their education goes. But I don't know what game humans think they're playing here. I really, truly don't know. We're all going to end up in the grave one way or another. So we might as well try to make this experience lighthearted and enjoy, somewhat joyful. If there wasn't so many people on this fucking planet, we wouldn't even have to compete for jobs. Do y'all understand that? If there was just enough people where we could build community amongst ourselves, you know how to do this and I know how to do that, and the next person knows how to do something different, and we all just trade it with each other, there would be no need for competition. We also have to think about the way science has prolonged life a little bit too much. And now we have the Bill Gates and the reptilians. They're honing back a little bit. They're creating ways to get rid of some of this population, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Science has gone too far. Let's roll it back a little bit. Let's roll it back. So now you might get a random blood clot in the middle of the fucking day that goes to your heart and stops your heart from pounding, but you were gonna die anyway. So what? So what? So what? That's also another thing too, that we have people out here saying, what are the billionaires gonna do when they go down to their bunkers and they kill off everybody? What they gonna do then? Don't they need us slaves? Aren't we doing something for the billionaires? Aren't we serving them? Why do they want to get rid of us? Literally, that's what y'all sound like making these posts. What plan does the billionaires have? That's literally, y'all sound like begging slaves that wish to continue your pathetic existence of chasing hormones on a disgusting, pathogenic, rotten prison planet hellscape. When you're dead, you will have no ability to know that you're dead. So why is this state people are just running from so fucking bad? It's I don't get it. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there regardless. I know they say it's what they call it? Survival instinct, right? But yeah, I have a survival instinct now because my life is pretty chill. My life is pretty chill. But if it get real intense, if shit starts going left more than it's going right, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And imagine if everybody was on that type of time. If everybody could look at the government and say, we're going to fight back because we have our ways to exit this prison planet at the drop of a finger, so we're ready to go to war. But, we're not really dealing with warriors here. We're not. We're dealing with a bunch of slaves who are desperate, delusional, dumb, and they wish to remain here to continue to serve the billionaires while continuously creating the next generation to do the same things. And they just want to continue on this cycle forever and ever and ever and ever with no end in sight. So that's why I tell the people that follow me who are really truly against life, create your exit plan. Create your exit plan through thorough research. People telling you that there's no for sure way to do it are liars. And they're agents for the Matrix. There are definitely for sure ways to do it. But if you do not research, if you do not thoroughly research, you will botch it. So do what you have to do to thoroughly research. I know that right now, the government doesn't want you to know. So they block all of this information from the internet. But as we know, there is a dark web out there. So you may need to connect yourself to a dark web. We can't let these people control and rule our lives. We cannot allow ourselves to be helpless victims. Because I think a lot of y'all want to just remain helpless victims. You don't really want a way out. You don't really want to escape. You want to stay here. Request videos from people all day long so you can hear people complaining about the same shit that you already know. And it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I told y'all, I don't want to keep talking about the same fucking things. And maybe this video is kind of redundant, but I don't think I've ever addressed the fact that I'm pro destruction of the earth. I don't think I've ever addressed that. So I addressed it today when I came across this page on Facebook. I really don't have anything else to say. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this video. All right, I'm out.